work permit and informed you then that should you be confirmed, at least 6 to 9 months, I will make a case for the Senate to someone here so we can review this. You remember that?
Yes, I remember we did talk about work permit at the time of my confirmation hearing. Yes, I recall that.
Thank you. It is in fulfillment of that I wrote the Senate so that we can have this conversation. I call it conversation because we are not on a content trial here. We want to achieve something so that it can impact our people and our country. Thank you. Thank you. I got a couple of concerns. Since we became minister under this government, have you issued work permit? Question.
Oh, yes, I've issued work permit. That's part of the sanitary function of the ministry, of the Minister of Labor.
Good. Which categories?
All that category. We issue regular work permit, we issue equal work permit.
Some of the work permits issued, were they informed by Section 3 of the regulation?
You want to read Section 3?
Section 3 of the regulation states, Section 6 of the 2019 regulation states,
Section 6
Section 6 of the 2019 regulation states, and I quote, except as otherwise provided by law, an employer who seeks to employ must first convince the Ministry of Labor that he or she cannot find a suitable Liberian for an existing vacancy by showing proof of publication of information regarding such vacancy for at least 1 month in at least 2 local newspapers and on 2 local radio stations, as well as 2 Liberian websites. Additionally, such employer shall obtain a certificate from the Ministry of Labor as proof of non-availability of a suitable Liberian. Until such proof is shown, the Ministry of Labor, consistent with Chapter 45 of Section 45.1 of the Decent Work Act, will not issue a work permit to an alien, even if that alien has a resident permit. You say you have issued work permits in keeping with your statutory responsibility. All categories. This category falls on you. So that's why I asked what informed your issuance of work permit, especially all categories, including this provision of the law.
Senator, I must tell you, the issuance of work permit is an administrative function of the ministry. It's just not a technical function of what you say 1 + 1 is 2.
The law passes.
Even though our laws are intended to be interpreted based upon precedents and based upon practice of the system we work in.
Mr. Minister, did you?
Can I answer you, Senator?
We engage.
Okay.
Did you follow Section 6? Did you see proof? Did you see advertisement of vacancy announcement?
That's what I started my answer by
Okay.
telling you that the issuance and denial of work permit are all administrative aspect of the job of the Ministry of Labor. For example, I have denied work permit. I have told employer, look, you said you want an engineer to come and work for you. We want you to advertise a job for Liberians. If no Liberian apply, then you can go ahead and bring your work permit. I will approve it. I've done that. In my capacity as minister, we want to make sure that we are running a system that will not be disruptive. We running a system that nobody gets out of Liberia and say, look, the labor administration of Liberia is so critical that investment is not, it does not encourage investment. We try to make sure that we read between the lines. For example, most of the one example that you can pick up, you can say a couple of publications, Golden Valorian, for example. Most of the time when we deny their work permit, they do the publication. Like Firestone has done the same thing. But for the most part, most of the work permits that we're talking about are basically from concession companies. The major concession companies are the ones who bring most of these people, or who brought in people even that we met on the ground. And the problem has been, when somebody makes an investment in your country, they will take steps to protect their investment.
Mr. Minister?
Yes, sir.
I deal with a lawyer in you. I can understand that. If you were asking this question, you will know the answer you're looking for directly. I can understand your response. My question again is, did you go by the law? I know the issuance of that permit is administrative, it's discretionary to the minister himself in keeping the law. But that thing that informs the discretionary authority is the law. The law says, go by this. You say you have issued work permit of all categories, that means including unskilled employment. To issue work permit for unskilled employment, meaning the company that wants to bring that foreigner has demonstrated to you, in keeping with the law, that is the announcement for vacancy. And out there is no suitable Liberian, or Liberians are suitable but they don't want a job. Then they show you all that proof. My question is, did you go by this law? Did you see the proof that vacancies were announced? Liberians, even if they qualify for the unskilled job, they got no interest in it, so it informed our decision to issue work permit. That's my question, sir.
Senator, I got your question very clearly, and that's what I said. The issuance of work permit is part of the administrative responsibility of the ministry. We have, and believe me, if we agree here today that do not issue any work permit until there are certificates to prove that there is no Liberian that can do this job, the very people will bring us here. I'm prepared to enforce that. The companies, the managing director, they pass through here with those MTA before we implement it.
Mr. Minister,
Yeah.
sir, we reach here.
No, I'd like to assure you, Senator, that if we agree here that the intent of the law.
No, sir.
Yeah.
When we reach here. You inherited work permit.
That's
so I'm good. Doing your confirmation, the issue of a work permit. And I will dwell on this and I will ask my colleagues for the tolerance. It is my view. Yes. I may be wrong. The issuance of work permit as we do in this country is depriving Liberians of jobs in the private sector. Even on skilled jobs. We are supposed to provide an environment for our people to get jobs. We, the lawmakers, we provide the environment by enacting the enabling laws for you to go implement. When you're not following what the law says, we don't want to get a backlash. So my question, and I will not demand an answer, but the fact that you're not giving me that answer, I will go to the next concern, but will note it. That you are issuing work permit when you're not following the regulation because it is your view that it is administrative and discretionary. What is discretionary must be in conformity with the law as written. You are a lawyer, sir.
Okay, let me just add something additional to what I said before. For example, we tried to look at the roster of all of the concession area. Liberian workers and foreign workers. I give you one example. Beer Mountain, foreign workers 1,200. Liberian workers 2,840. It's almost like around 45% of Liberian workers. That's what they have on the other side. So it's more than it's about around maybe 50-55%. Yeah. So to let you know that we just don't give the work permit like that. We will make sure that Liberians are working in these places. Nowhere that I have gone, all of the visitation that we made, nowhere in these companies where they have more foreigners working than Liberians. Nowhere. For example, I told another, that's a big company that I just said. They have Liberian 2,480, foreigner 1,000 something. I have a company called 2,480 Liberian, as to 1,200 foreigners. And a company called Mahati, 45 Liberian, 45 Indian, 160 Liberians. I'm just giving you an idea that we are very particular. If you brought in a number of requests to us, we will deny it, not to fraud the market per se. And sometimes the people get the impression that because we reported that up to today, our collection for our sector is around $7.5 million. People think we just give it out. It's just the enforcement aspect of it that have made us to appear that we collecting more money because there are more foreigners coming into the country. It may not be the situation. The past 2 weeks, we have a team that have been working at night to all of the casinos and nightclubs. And they are making the people to pay. It's a strategy that we use, not necessarily that people are just coming and we just giving them work permit. But I take very key note in terms of what we can do. We can streamline this at any level that will be in the interest of the country. We prepare to do that.
So is the work permit issue more about very new generation to fund the budget, or the work permit issue is to safeguard certain jobs, skilled or unskilled, for Liberians? Because when we ratify concession agreements, some of the concession agreement, they say we're coming to do concession agreement or concession in Liberia, it will provide X number of jobs for Liberia. And it is these beliefs and these concerns that we have to provide jobs for our people. We ratify some of these concessions. And then when the concession here is operating, they're operating mostly on work permit and all that stuff. So the fact that you did not definitively answer my question is probably, sir, that you as a minister have issued work permits outside of the law.
I would disagree with you. I said the issues of work permit is an administrative function of the Minister of Labor. Consistent with the law. Consistent with the law. That discretionary aspect is that if you came to me and you said, look, I'm bringing one engineer to work for me, and I do know the qualification, the kind of training, the area of training we have in Liberia at our university. If somebody is bringing an electronic engineer in Liberia, I will understand that we may not have that in our at the University of Liberia. So we'll find it.
As you came to this hearing,
yes,
did you bring a matrix or catalog of work permits you have issued and the categories?
If you have requested that, I would have done it.
But you knew you were coming to have work permit issue discussions.
But you said you were coming to have the discussion, that's why I'm here. But if you need any additional information.
How many work permits you given to drivers, store accountants? Can you tell me now? Because when you were coming here for, you have about a week.
Senator, if your letter has said we want you to bring to us the category of work permit you issue out, the number of work permits you issue, we will bring it. You made reference to one particular section of the law. Even the section says we were discussing now was not part of your letter.
Is that true, sir? The letter that I wrote to the Senate is right here. The letter I wrote to the Senate, something of which you are here, is right before me, and I'm the author of the communication.
Okay. I see it's chapter 7, section 7.1.
Yeah, which gives
Then
the
section
authority
3.
for regulation, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And the third paragraph of that letter, which I authored, it says, however, section 3 of the resolution of 2019 states, no permit shall be issued to a non-African alien to work in the informal sector. Additionally, no permit shall be issued to any alien to engage in any of the businesses set aside by law exclusively for Liberians. It all in the communication and went forward to cite section 6 of the law that says, in order to show proof that no Liberian is suitable for a particular job, an employer that wants to seek to obtain work permit must demonstrate that they did advertisement for in the newspaper for 1 month, advertisement on radio, on 2 radio stations, advertisement on 2 Liberian websites. You got a letter. You quote that area journal. So how can you come out? I wanted to see how many work permits, not necessarily that you have issued, even the ones you inherited. You need to show us the statistics. How many work permits have been issued? 10, 5 drivers, 3 accountants, 1 day. Then we know what we're going to start.
Senator, I assure you we have a statistic.
You didn't bring it?
I did not bring it because it was not part of the letter. If it was there, I would have brought it along with
So
me.
what
But I'm
happened?
saying we can provide those statistics if it is required. And I thought in my mind, the intent of this, if it is for to make our regime stronger and for us to make it in a way that will benefit Liberia, I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to do that, not to determine whether or not we're working or not. I can assure you that we are working very effectively. If there are each area that we think we need to gather with your committee to take a stronger stand, that you will support us, we'll be prepared to do that. Yes.
Senator, can we make progress?
Yeah, we'll make progress.
Let's make progress.
We'll make progress. Is the issuance of work permit more focused on revenue generation or safeguarding to protect jobs for Liberians?
Well, look, in my mind, the two aspects are present in our administration of the government. The Ministry of Finance allocate or make requirement for the Ministry of Labor to contribute to the national budget and put in the amount. So they require that we collect money for the work permit. I also agree that it should be done to protect Liberian workers. That's why those provisions are there. And if there are any loose end to it, believe me, I'm prepared to tighten it down if we in support of the committee. There is no reason for me, on a personal note, to say that I have reason not to enforce any aspect of the work of the decent work act. I am prepared to do that. And it says, in a couple of months, we are getting an insight. That's why we're getting out to see what's happening out there. It will help us to tighten more and more and make it better. And we're prepared to do that. We're prepared to work with this committee. If it is our understanding today that don't give any work permit, I will make that decision today as I leave from here. I will not issue work permit.
Minister,
I'll be prepared to do that.
Mr. Minister,
Yes, Senator.
we passed the drug law.
Yes.
We put a certain category non-billable. In the drug law, we say if you drug here in a ship, whole ship, an investigation and conviction can prove that that ship was deliberately used to transport the drug here. We confiscate the ship, sell the ship, the proceeds from there used to sell and to fight drug. We're taking the drug law. That's what we can do as lawmakers. The implementation of that law is left with the executive. But when drug all over the place, the lawmakers are not doing anything. Chief, the work permit issue, we have played our part as the legislature. We passed the law. We say you should go enforce it. We give you guidance by which you should use your discretion to enforce the law. You issue work permit. Did you follow the law? You say discretionary. It means you didn't know the law. I will pause for now to give my colleagues a chance, but I will seek from the chairman of this committee, as a member of this committee, I will want the entire listing, the number of work permits that you inherited, the number of work permits you have issued, and the various categories, and the reason behind issuing the work permits. To see whether we just put the law aside to issue the work permit for revenue generation, which is also a reason why our people who are suitable and qualified and available are not getting the job. I want our entire document. Mr. Chairman, you for now.
Thank you.